girls drive me crazy.
Hi Pixies, welcome back to my channel. My name is Gigi, if you haven't been here before. Today we are doing something very special. I am taking myself out on a little date. I am just gonna spend the entire day with myself and kind of reconnecting with my thoughts, my feelings, you know, all that mushy gushy fun stuff, and just really doing some things that I find really de-stressing and relaxing. I hate to pull the Virgo card, but Virgos are notorious for getting really caught up in life around them and their projects and just really not slowing down to take that time to themselves. I've definitely fallen victim to that Virgo habit recently. So today I am really just gonna reconnect with my favorite gal and treat myself to a nice de-stressing day to myself. Okay, so the very first thing I'm gonna do is get a coffee because I never treat myself to coffee anymore. So that's the first date thing that we're gonna do today. Let's go get coffee. Could I get a maple latte with oat milk? Thank you. I really wanted to make a point this day to journal, as I was journaling pretty consistently over the summer, but recently have definitely been slacking. Journaling is something that has always just made me feel so much more connected to my emotions, so because I've been feeling kind of disconnected recently, I thought this was the perfect way to start off my date and really try and access those emotions. It's not even that I'm feeling like bad stuff, it's just that I haven't been connected to what I am feeling, if that makes any sense at all. Not only did I do that, but I also did some organizational journaling where I wrote some to-do lists and wrote out my schedule. This is something that really helps me de-stress. When I write it all out, I write down a list of all the things I know I need to get done, and then it's not just all like jumbled up in my head and freaking me out and stressing me out. It's just right there on paper. I have a plan and it just really helps me de-stress. So this was the perfect way to start my date, and what better way to do this than with some coffee. One of my favorite things in the world is thrifting. Anyway, I'm gonna go there. That's what I'm doing, that's where we are. Fashion is something that's such a big inspiration for me and really helps me feel inspired when I'm kind of in a creativity block. So I definitely wanted to go check out the thrift store. Thrift stores are also just something that there's so many teeny tiny treasures that maybe aren't even clothing that are just so fun and I don't know, just are really intriguing and exciting to explore. I wasn't planning on buying anything, but just going in and being inspired and getting some ideas for like another video I have in the works was really fun for me. It is a really big goal of mine to be as ethical and sustainable as possible with where I'm putting my money, so a thrift store made a lot more sense for me than to go shopping at big chain stores. I did end up buying one cardigan. It was cool grandma vibes and I was feeling it. I'm currently in a bathroom. I just wanted to give you a lowdown of how my date with myself is going so far. My overall consensus so far is that I'm having a lot of fun. I used to do so much of this, like in New York. I'll go out on like several dates with myself like every single week, I feel like, and I would think nothing of it. It was just like what I did. I would go out, I would walk around, I would go into stores, I would do so much, and I just forgot how fun I am to hang out with. I definitely want to do more of it because it feels really nice. It's almost uncomfortable to say for me for some reason, just because I am such a social person. I am such a person who loves to hang out with other people. For some reason, maybe it's society, maybe it's like a female thing. I don't know what it is, but for some reason I feel guilty for saying that. I feel guilty for being like, oh yeah, I like being by myself. And I'm like, you know what, like no, like just because I enjoy this time alone, that does not in any way like take away from my time spent with others. And it doesn't, I don't know, does that make sense? I've been like really trying to like think about it as I've been walking around. So yeah, all right, I'm gonna go to my next spot and yeah, bye. Going out to eat by yourself is something that I feel like is very stigmatized and is something that, you know, like it's kind of scary to do. Ashley Best Dressed on YouTube, did a taking myself on a date video, which inspired my video. And she talked about the stigmatization too, and I found it really interesting. So I wanted to try and go to a restaurant today, but I didn't really want to spend like sit-down restaurant type of money. So instead, I went to one of my favorite cafes that is still kind of a place where people sit together. So I was still like one of the only people by themselves, but it wasn't like a waiter comes into your table and I don't know. I journaled some more while I ate my vegan corn chowder, and it was wonderful. I think I'm pretty comfortable being by myself, but it's something that I haven't done in a while, so I'm kind of like falling out of habit with it. So this was something I really wanted to do on this day. Later on, I went home and I decided I really wanted to spend some time outside in nature. It was rainy, so that was kind of a bummer, but I still really wanted to just go out and spend some time in nature. So I actually took my dog and we walked to this spot behind my house. I haven't been there since I was probably about 10. I've always been really, really connected to nature. My parents have done an amazing job with really like showing me the importance of nature, teaching me about different plants' properties, etc., how ecosystems work. It's been a really big part of my life and a huge part of my childhood. I was always outside. So there was this one really special spot behind my house that had all these stumps cut down in a circle. I'm pretty sure this is my bucket. Oh my god. Which is kind of sad now that I think about it and I'm older. I've always loved fairies, and when I was younger, I was constantly looking for signs of them. I had done so much research on fairies. One thing that they say is when you find rings in the forest, it's called a fairy ring, and it's where fairies often live, or fairies have been there, and it's left some sort of ring. It can be in the form of flowers, it can be in the form of plants, and in this case, it was in the form of stumps for me. So I really believed that this area was magical and had fairies living in it. I would spend so much time there. I would go there after school, and I would just sit, and I would just play, and I don't even know what the heck I would do, but it was really magical to go back and just sit there. Not only reconnect with myself right now, but kind of reconnect with my younger self, as well as nature. So this was a really magical experience for me. It was really important for me to reconnect with nature as well on this day.
Place your queens on the table who are weeping for your daughter.
For my evening activity, I decided to keep it pretty chill and actually go to a bookstore. There's something so special about a bookstore. I don't know what it is, and this bookstore has a lot of charm to it that I love. Some of the books are used, some of them are new, and it's so fun to just peer through books that you've never read before and explore genres that you wouldn't normally think to do. For example, I ended up buying a mythology book. I used to be so into mythology. Ever since the musical Hades Down came out, I've really been wanting to get back into it, so I got a mythology book to kind of brush up on my mythology knowledge. I also got this children's Russian folklore book. I started reading it and I just fell in love with the illustrations and the story. It's very rare to find matriarchal fairy tales where it's the female character saving the day, but in these stories, I was finding that over and over again. I've always loved wolves, and in these stories, several of them had the repetition of a wolf helping out the main character. And this I thought was super unique because usually wolves are demonized in books. So that's the power of going into bookstores, is that you just hang out with the books and then you find new things that you usually wouldn't think to look for. that. Look at that mastery. I'm afraid of fire. I feel like movies are such a big commitment, or at least in my head they are, because they're not like a 20-minute episode or a 10-minute YouTube video. So I don't watch them as much, even though I'm a film student, which is kind of ironic. But this night I really wanted to take the extra time and just like relax and not feel stressed out about watching a movie. I really hate that I feel that way about watching movies, especially since that's like the field I'm going into. So I really want to make it a goal to watch 1 to 3 movies a week from now on. And I have a pretty long watch list, and the Grand Budapest Hotel was on there for sure. If you have not seen a Wes Anderson movie, I would highly suggest watching some. They are filmed in a very unique way. They're very quirky. He uses colors like no other. Every single scene, the color really symbolizes the mood of what's happening. Just the sets with the costumes, with the colors, it's just incredible and just so pleasing to the eye. I loved watching the colors progress in this movie. It was super interesting. I suggest watch a Wes Anderson movie. They are so cool. And yeah, it was the perfect way to end the date. Hi Pixies, so I just finished editing this video. I hope you all liked this video, and I hope it kind of showed you that, you know what, it's okay to have days by yourself and to sit by yourself. Honestly, since this video, I've been trying to sit alone more. In the cafeteria, at my school or whatever, whenever I go to the cafeteria for lunch, breakfast, dinner, whatever, honestly, I don't like sitting with people. Okay, that's an exaggeration. Sometimes I like sitting with people at lunch, but I realized that honestly I love that time when I'm eating, in the morning at breakfast or at dinner sometimes, on tonight's Sunday. And I did not want to sit with someone tonight, and honestly sometimes alone time just feels good, and there should be nothing wrong with that, and there should be nothing wrong with you being no, I'm gonna take this time for myself, and you shouldn't feel guilty for doing that, okay? So yeah, I have been sitting by myself more and that shouldn't be sad. There should be nothing wrong with sitting alone and taking time for yourself. It's amazing to share fun things with another person or friends and stuff, and I think that doing stuff by yourself and enjoying that time by yourself as well shouldn't take away from spending time with other people. Just because I enjoy spending time by myself doesn't mean that I don't love spending time with the people I love, you know? I don't think it's one or the other, and I think that's kind of where the uncomfort with spending time alone and going out and doing things by yourself comes from. So yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts below about all of this, and yeah, let's just talk to me. I would love to hear. Anyway, I hope you all liked this video. It was a little bit all over the place, and it was really fun filming, and it was really nice, and yeah. I love you Pixies, and I hope this video inspired you to make some time for yourself, whether that be having an entire day or just setting aside 10 minutes to journal or read a book or do something that connects you to your childhood self, as cheesy as that may be. Okay, I love you all. I'm gonna go to bed. It's really freaking late, and I have an 8 a.m. tomorrow, so yeah. I love you Pixies, and I will see you in my next video.